Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jai Nitai Gauranga. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shat Śrīmad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhans Nitya Leela Pravishta His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind Ki Jai. नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय. मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय. जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय. गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय. वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय. श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय. श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय. श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय. श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय. हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th Canto, 9th Chapter, text number 51. Shri Narada Uvacha Etavad Varnito Varnita Guno Etavad Varnita Guno Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha Prahradam Pranatam Prito Prahradam Pranatam Prito Yata Manyur Abhashata Yata Manyur Abhashata. Shri Narada Uvacha Etavad Varnita Guno Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha Prahradam Pranatam Prito Yatamanyur Abhashata. Shri Narada Uvacha Etavad Varnita Guno Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha Prahradam Pranatam Prito Yatamanyur Abhashata. Shri Narada Uvacha Tavad Varnita Guno Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha Prahradam Pranadam Prito Yatamanyur Abhashata. Shri Narada Uvacha Etavad Varnita Guno Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha Prahradam Pranatam Prito Yatamanyur Abhashata. Shri Narada Uvacha Etavad Varnita Guno Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha Prahradam Pranatam Prito Yatamanyur Abhashata. Shri Narada Uvacha. Shri Narad Muni said, Etavad, up to this, Varnita, described, Gunaha, transcendental qualities. Bhaktya, with devotion. Bhaktena, by the devotee Prahlāda Mahārāja. Nirgunaha, the transcendental Lord. Praharadam, unto Prahlāda Mahārāja. Pranatam, who was surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord. Pritaha, being pleased. Yatamanyuhu, controlling the anger. Abhashata, began to speak as follows. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The great saint Narada said, thus Lord Nrsimhadev was pacified by the devotee Prahlāda Mahārāja with prayers offered from the transcendental platform. The Lord gave up his anger, and being very kind to Prahlāda, who was offering prostrated obeisances, he spoke as follows. Please repeat. The great saint Narada said, thus Lord Nrsimhadev was pacified by the devotee Prahlāda Mahārāja with prayers offered from the transcendental platform. The Lord gave up his anger, and being very kind to Prahlāda, who was offering prostrated obeisances, he spoke as follows. Purport. The word Nirguna is important. The Mayavadi philosophers accept the absolute truth as Nirguna or Nirakar. The word Nirguna refers to one who possesses no material qualities. The Lord, being full of spiritual qualities, gave up all his anger and spoke to Prahlāda. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namni Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gaurmani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare. So here it is explained, Yatamanyur Abhashata. So some impersonalists, when they hear this statement, they get bewildered. Yatamanyur, Manyu means anger. So Lord also is angry. So anger opens the doorway to hell, it is mentioned. Lust, anger, greed are 3 doorways to hell. Lust, anger and greed. And Lord is so angry. Nobody is able to pacify Lord. So that is why they tell Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, when they came here, they also were getting angry, they also were crying. So thus they cannot be considered God. So this very nicely has been explained by the Acharyas. The activities of the material world, they appear exactly like the activities of spiritual world. But there is gulf of difference in the consciousness. The example is a person who is sick. Just like somebody was telling the other day. So one of the devotees, he is not keeping well. So when devotees were taking prasadam for him, he was becoming very angry. That I think the cook is not doing his chanting properly, or he's cooking in very angry mood. The food is tasteless. Prabhu, please send me something from ashram. There is no taste in this. So why he's not getting taste? Other devotees are getting taste because he is sick. So even the food is very tasty, but he is not getting any taste. So thus it so happened another devotee was there. And he was criticizing the cook that you do not know how to cook. How come you are forgetting these days you're not putting salt at all in the food? So actually the devotee got COVID. So he lost his taste. So he's criticizing the cook that you're not putting salt. So thus for a sick man, eating is very painful. Food doesn't go inside at all. Whereas when a person is fit, eating is very pleasurable activity, one likes to eat. So thus anger is full of ecstasy. Transcendental greed is also full of ecstasy. Transcendental lust is also full of spiritual ecstasy. So if a person is able to feel transcendental lust, material lust becomes zero in such a person. So thus they are completely different phenomena. Material lust, spiritual lust. Material. So actually it should not be called lust, because lust means satisfaction of one's own senses. When sometimes lust is being explained here, that means attraction between male and female forms. It exists in spiritual world also. Otherwise, nothing can exist in the material world. So impersonalists cannot explain this. They tell the origin of everything is simply some energy. So if the origin is simply some energy, then how come so many forms have come? If the origin is formless, there is no conception of form in the origin, then how so many varieties and forms will appear? What is the answer? Why formless has taken forms? Beautiful forms. So many nice flowers we see, birds we see, animals we see, beautiful forms, designs have been created. So if origin is just impersonal light, why light has got transformed, this energy has got transformed into so many forms? There is no logic at all. So the forms, the qualities, they exist here because they exist on the spiritual platform also. So thus people become angry here. The anger is there in the Lord also. But if we become angry, then we open our doorway to hell. Anger on material platform is very, very bad. One should avoid by all means. Prabhupada mentions little anger, if it comes in the body, entire body gets contaminated. So anger is very dangerous for advancing spiritualist. So unless somebody is on the path of bhakti yoga, one will fall down if one shows anger. So the impersonalists, jnanis, they cannot become angry at all. Otherwise they will fall down. They lose their spiritual position. But a devotee only has right to become angry. But it does not mean that devotee becomes angry left and right for no reason. The devotee also should be very, very cautious, because we are not pure devotees. So only if anger is required in the service of Krishna, it should be used. So one should be very, very cautious. So anger is there in the Supreme Lord also. And thus this anger is very nice. It is enhancing the feelings between Lord and his devotees. If somebody is harming the devotee, Lord exhibits, he becomes very, very angry, and thus he protects his devotees. The queens in the spiritual world, when they see Krishna is showing favor to another queen, they become angry. And this enhances the relationship, the loving mellow. In this way, transcendental anger increases one's pleasure. So Lord, here it is being mentioned that, so very nicely it is mentioned. First it is mentioned, etavad varnita guno bhaktya bhaktena nirgunaha. In this way, varnita guno means Prahlāda Mahārāja described the qualities of Supreme Lord. Varnita guno. Described, guna means qualities. And then further it is mentioned nirgunaha. So how do we understand? Prahlāda Mahārāja is describing the guna of nirguna. He is describing the quality of the one who has no quality. So if somebody does not have any quality, how qualities can be described? So that is why we have some shlokas like this shloka. It is giving attributes to God, that Prahlāda Mahārāja is glorifying the attributes. At the same time, it is mentioned to the one who has no attribute. So God is described as being Saguna and Nirguna in the same verse. But some verses can just tell God is Nirguna. Other verses can just tell God is Saguna. And some verses tell God is both Varnita Guna. His qualities are being described. At the same time, he is Nirguna. He is having no quality. So what does it mean that God has got no quality? So all the qualities that we see here are because of basically combination of three material qualities, qualitative modes of nature, Sattva Guna, Rajaguna and Tamoguna. So all these three modes, they combine together. So if a person is having great proportion of tamas, then lust arises in the heart. So if somebody is very lusty, it means the person is in the mode of ignorance. Lust is very strong. So what is the meaning of lust? Tendency to do sense gratification, enjoy the senses. That is called lust. The more we want to enjoy the senses, the more lust is there in the heart. And if a person is very greedy, that means Rajoguna is predominant. What is the meaning of greed? Greed is that thing which everyone tells we should not have, but everyone has. Moral science, there was a subject in the school. So students work very hard for all the subjects. And for this subject, marks will not be added. Useless, okay? So somebody else, some foolish person in the planning commission or committee, education board, they have recommended. So we have added. But these marks you can score, but we will not add into your final card. That is called moral science. So as a matter of formality is going on. And in moral science, they teach that one should not be greedy, but everyone is greedy. What is the meaning of greed? Accumulating the resources of enjoyment. Lust means enjoy the senses, and greed means accumulate the resources of enjoyment. So anybody is accumulating resources more than keeping the body and soul together, that person is called greedy. And if we see, all of us are trained to become greedy. Nobody is satisfied with God's arrangement. Let me remain simply satisfied by maintaining the body. Everyone is greedy. They want to accumulate resources for enjoyment. So all the problems of our life are just because of these two qualities, lust and greed. That's it. So if we become free, then a person becomes happy. And that quality is called Sattva Guna. So if a person is having Sattva Guna in one's life, then a person is happy. So people do not know how to become happy. The richest person on the planet, one of the richest, he is also taking drugs to come out of depression. So when the person who is richest, who is most intelligent, it is told he has got laser sharp focus. Many times after our sessions, this is one of the FAQs, that Prabhu, how to concentrate, how to focus. So they are telling that this person was able to focus like anything. So much focus that whatever is happening around him, he is unaware. So much focus, laser sharp focus. But the result of such focus is he is in depression. So this focus is not going to help. Concentration is not going to help. Yes, concentration will help if a person knows how to concentrate on the holy name of Krishna, form of Krishna, service of Krishna or the spiritual master. Then concentration is of great help. So concentration adds zero value to our life. But if one of Krishna is added, then this becomes very valuable. Then concentration is very nice, fantastic. But if Krishna is not there, concentration only, then it will not bring. It is zero. So thus people do not know what will make us happy. They are getting everything, but still they are depressed. So the thing which makes us happy is the quality of Sattva Guna in this material world. Sattva Guna means knowledge. Any person who is having knowledge, even material knowledge, that is called Sattva Guna. And then a person becomes happy. So all the qualities that we see here, qualities of truthfulness, forgiveness, empathy, sympathy, and all these good qualities or bad qualities, selfishness, greed, and arrogance. So all these are mixture of these three modes of nature, sattva, rajas and tamas. So Krishna has dedicated entire chapter in Bhagavad Gita about these qualities. Why? So that we can analyze. Just like we see, if I am growing in my education means I should move through pre-primary, primary, secondary, higher secondary standards. So thus these three modes of nature are very important to understand so that we can see I am moving towards higher mode. I am moving towards sattva guna. So sattva guna is very, very important. It is important because it is a favorable platform to jump into Shuddha Sattva, pure spiritual platform. Unless when it comes to Sattva Guna, there is no question of becoming a Vaishnava coming to spiritual platform. But it is helpful only if a person is able to advance to spiritual platform. If a person gets stuck on the Sattva Guna, then that is also loss of life. If a person is simply on Sattva Guna, then there is not much difference. He is still on the material platform. Sattva Guna is only helpful in the sense it is favorable. When a person comes to Sattva Guna, then very easily one can understand that how I am spirit soul, I am not the body. If we are in lower modes of nature, one will never understand. If one is in extreme Tamoguna, one becomes unconscious of his own body, just like the person who is sleeping. He or she becomes unconscious of this body, gross body itself. Then what to speak of our own form, eternal form, which is difficult to understand. So thus we can understand how mode of Tamoguna is so dangerous. Even this temporary reality, gross reality, person becomes completely unconscious, unaware of. So when a person comes to Sattva Guna, then that is platform of knowledge. Then a person can understand Vedas. That is why we see so many interpretations and there is so much confusion, so many organizations, so many paths, so many societies, because people are in lower modes, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Paratastu rajastasma sattvam yad brahma darshanam. In order to have Brahma darshan, understanding of spirit soul, one needs to be on Sattva Guna. In lower modes, one cannot understand. Thus, sometimes people tell that you eat meat and you smoke also, and then you can make advancement in spiritual life. But that is not possible. And they give logic that eating meat and smoking is for the body, and spiritual practices are for spiritual advancement. So material practices are for material body. So it does not matter. So they are telling that mind should be pure. It does not matter. It does not matter you are, so very beautifully they are telling that addiction should not catch you. You can catch addiction. So when Brahma was creating this world, so he created some bad qualities also, illusions also. And one of the illusion is self-deception. Self-deception means person cheats his own self. Yes, I'll get up. I'll just snooze for 5 minutes. I'll get up. I'll reach in the lecture on time. So person cheats himself. This is called self-deception. And then Brahma became very sad because these deceptions are required. Unless these deceptions are created, nobody can enjoy material life because material life is illusory. There is no question of happiness. Where is happiness? So that is why Brahma had to create this self-deception. But then Brahma felt very bad. Then he created 4 Kumaras, Narad Muni, so that people can be enlightened. So this person is cheating his own self. Actually, they are addicted, but they are telling, no, one can indulge in all these things, but one should not be caught by addiction. You can catch addiction. So it is not that I am addicted to smoking. I just smoke like that. And I just smoke like that every day. And 10 cigarettes just like that. I am not addicted. So tell such people, okay, sir, please leave for 3 days. One day they cannot leave. So in this way, a person is cheating. Actually, they are very much addicted, but they are telling, I am not addicted. I am detached. So yes, there is a stage which is called Paramhansa stage. On that platform, a person can do anything and everything. No rules apply on him. He's completely transcendental. Just like it is told about Ramanand Rai. Ramanand Rai was so very much advanced on the spiritual platform that he was preparing the body of the Devdasis so that they can, and he was training them how to dress, how to dance, so that they can please Lord Jagannath. And it's told that he was least bit disturbed because he was completely situated in his constitutional position as an eternal maid servant of Krishna, associate of Krishna. So because he was situated in his original position, he was not at all disturbed even by such intimate association with women. So thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, said body appears to be made of stone. He is least bit disturbed, not disturbed at all. Any other person can fall down simply by the thought of it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told by his example. So how much one should be careful of the form of the other sex. One should be very, very fearful. People tell we should not be fearful, you should not be afraid, but fear is very important for devotee. So very beautifully Srila Prabhupada explains in Krishna book. When Kansa is killing all the brothers of Krishna, they were Garbhasuras, Shad Garbhasuras. So Kansa kills all of them. And these Garbhasuras were actually demigods. And these demigods, why they became Asuras? They took birth as son of a demon, Kalnemi. Kalnemi, I think his name was. And they worshipped Brahma for getting some powers. So Hiranyakashipu became very angry. Why you did not take my shelter? You are going to Brahma. So he told, I curse you, that your own father will kill you in next life. So then his father Kalnemi became Kansa. And then his children became brothers of Krishna. And then father killed his own children in the next life. So why these people, the Shad Garbhasuras, they became Asuras? They were son of Marichi, demigod. They were all demigods. Why they got degraded? Anyone knows? Because when Brahma, he so-called got attracted to his own daughter and started chasing her, then these sons of Marichi became abhorrent towards such a behavior of Brahma and they criticized him. So for this offense, they got cursed and they got degraded to Asuric platform. From demigods, they became demons, Asuras. So thus one should not take that, at sometimes we have seen in the past also, we discussed in the past, that devotees tell that Brahma fell down. So no, Tejiya Samna Doshai. So such activities of such exalted person should not be seen as a fall down. Because the Devatas saw it as a fall down, they criticized Lord Brahma, they became Asuras. They were cursed to become Asuras. So thus Prabhupada explains that is for our example. So Brahma wanted to show you should be very, very fearful. Mata swasra duhitrava na viviktasano bhavet. So one who is advancing on the path of spiritual life, one should be very careful not to associate even with one's mother, sister or daughter in a secluded place. Normally a person is not agitated, but one should not take chances because senses can become agitated at any time. And Brahma is shown by his example that what is written in Vedas is true, it is fact. So one should be so very much fearful. One should never trust the unlimited power of this material nature. So then Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains in that chapter that Kansa, he is compared to fear. He's representing fear. And Marichi is the controlling, is the deity of the mind. And the sons of Marichi are the six demigods who became Garbhasuras. So it is told these Asuras, six bad qualities which are produced out of mind. They are Kam, Krodha, Mada, Lobha, Moha and Matsarya. Lust, anger, greed, envy. So all these six qualities, they are produced because of mind. So the Shat Garbhasuras, they represent these 6 qualities, bad qualities, which we have to overcome. And Prabhupada explains, Devaki represents bhakti. So a devotee here in this material world is always fearful that I may not get contaminated by the association. Even devotees like Prahlāda Mahārāja expressed like this. When Lord Krishna told, you rule here, Narsimhadev told, he told, I'll become contaminated in their association. So then Lord Narsimhadev blessed, do not worry, you will not be contaminated. So they are so very much fearful. Madhavendra Puri, the person who sowed the seed of spontaneous love in this world, he was very, very cautious of associating with other people, non-devotees. Because he knows as soon as we associate, we create prajalpa, gossips, talks about mundane world. And this is very, very dangerous for our life. So thus he would always remain alone. So that is why devotee should be so very much fearful. And when a person is fearful of this material world, its association, so fear kills, just like Kansa killed the sons of Marichi. Similarly, the fear of this material world, it kills all these bad qualities. So when the devotee is very, very fearful of this material world, then the devotees prays intensely to Krishna, very strictly follows the rules and regulations. And because of this fearful, he constantly prays to Krishna. When do we pray to Krishna? When we are fearful, correct? When there is any danger, immediately, Namaste Narsimhaya. When we are not fearful, okay, Narsimhadev. Sorry, I'm little busy. I'm preparing for my exam. So we pray only when we are in fear. So when the devotee is always in fear of the material nature, getting associated, he is always praying to Krishna. And such constant prayers, they kill all the 6 bad qualities, Kam, Krodha, Mada, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya. So this fear is very important. Thus Prabhupada would tell, my devotees are not, the problem is my devotees are not afraid of Maya. My disciples are not afraid enough of Maya. One should be afraid, one should be very fearful. So this Maya is so dangerous, the Shastras are telling, Shurasya Dhara. It is like razor's edge. Little inattention and there is blood. Example is given, Bharat Maharaj, he was on Bhava platform. So what to speak of neophytes who can fall down at any time? He was very advanced devotee, Bhava platform. And little attraction happened towards deer. And then lost his, he had to become, normally a person becomes human. If you execute even little bit of bhakti, human birth is guaranteed. But Krishna gave him punishment. You become deer. Why you became so much attached? So Krishna sometimes to purify his devotees, he punishes them. But that punishment also is again for spiritual advancement. So he got degraded so much that he had to take a deer form in the next life. So how dangerous is the spiritual life? So thus Prabhupada tells, sometimes the liberated personalities also, they fall down because of inattention on the transcendental platform. Inattention on the transcendental platform. So material world is compared to which? Pishachi paila yena mati channa hoye. Just like when a person is haunted by the ghosts, he speaks all nonsense. Similarly, Maya grasta jivera sei dasha upajoye. When a person is influenced by Maya, he appears, talks, behaves like a haunted person. You have seen haunted people. Prabhupada tells many people who are in asylum. So they tell, these days mental disorders are increasing in the society. So many of those cases are not actually mental disorders. They are the cases of being haunted. And Prabhupada tells this is the case in asylum also. In mental asylum, people behave differently. So somebody is behaving like doctor, somebody politician, somebody man is behaving like woman. So actually they are haunted. So people, they are telling that people when they have mental disorders, they hallucinate. They are seeing some things. Actually, they are not hallucinating. That is reality. They are seeing ghosts. They have got so much into tamoguna that they are seeing ghosts around them. So Prabhupada tells many of these cases whom people call mad, they are not actually mad, they are haunted. They are haunted personalities. So just like a haunted man behaves differently than his natural position, Similarly, we are behaving differently. Somebody is telling, I am Indian, I am American, you are my father, you are my children, you are mother, they are my relatives. All this is the cause of our being affected by Maya. It is just because of being affected by Maya. Otherwise, one has no material designation. So when one is on the Sattva-guna, one can understand this. Otherwise, one is haunted. So one should be very, very careful. So just like when the ghosts are around, person prays intensely to Krishna. So similarly, we are living always surrounded by Maya. So anytime we'll be haunted by the modes of nature if we are not very careful and pray to Krishna. That is why the formula is Satatam Kirtayantu Mam. So one should be sinless to remain on the Sattvic platform. But anytime sins can attack again, Prabhupada tells, because we are not strong enough, now you are pure. But you are not strong enough to resist the force of Maya. That is why some devotees, they experience in their life, they tell, so Prabhu, I followed spiritual principles very nicely, but suddenly I got degraded. Suddenly one day it so happened, now I am addicted to it. I cannot give it up, these practices. So we are following spiritual life very nicely for a long time. Suddenly attack will happen and then devotee is lost. He is not able to come out of it. So that is why one should be very, very afraid. One should be very fearful of Maya. And that is why one should constantly pray to Krishna by constantly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So one should think of the lotus feet of Krishna always, and one should chant Hare Krishna mantra always and beg to Krishna for protection. So while chanting Hare Krishna mantra 24 hours, our prayer should be, Krishna, please save me from Maya and please engage me in your service. So in this way, when the devotee is fearful, fear, Kansa was representing fear, Kansa killed the sons of Marichi, sons of mind. All these bad qualities are destroyed. And then the Krishna takes birth in the womb of Devaki. Then we will be able to understand Krishna. So thus one should be very fearful and follow the rules and regulations, just like in the case of serious diseases. The patient is very fearful. If I don't take these medicines, I will die. I have to subscribe to proper treatment given by the doctor. In a similar fashion, we should be very, very strict in following the rules and regulations given by the spiritual master. So one should not try to save time. What we will do by saving time? We will enhance our reputation here, our recognition here. That is anyway bound to come as per the laws of nature. By working hard, we are not going to enhance our material situation. That is fixed. So one should save time for spiritual practices, following it very, very strictly. If poverty has to come, it will come. So somebody was telling in America, it was, this talk is given, I think 40, 50 years ago. And this person is, even that time, America was very rich. So he's telling still, now at the age of 25 years, all these Americans think they'll be very successful. But by the time they are 65, he tells, one person will be rich, 4 will be able to have financial independence, others will be broke. 55, 56 will be broke, others will be poor, he tells. So in a country like America, majority, they become broke when they become old. So destiny is so strong. Even if you are living, you are taken birth in a rich nation, you will end up being broke. So the devotees were telling that in US also we may start Akshay Patra. In London we have anyway started. I told US also there is need of Akshay Patra. People are hungry. Yes, Prabhu, very much. In London people are hungry. US also people are hungry. So if destiny is there, then you will remain hungry, even though you may take birth anywhere. So thus one should be very, very fearful. As per laws of nature, the things are fixed. Our reputation is fixed. Our assets, what we are going to have, is fixed. And even though you are not able to understand it is fixed, what is the value? What is the use? So Friendship Day is coming. We'll try to discuss the wonderful pastimes of the dearest friend of Krishna, Sudama, how his life was. They were so very poor. So poor that they were not even able to have sufficient meals for the day. And husband and wife, they became so weak that wife was not even able to walk properly. They were so poor, but they were understanding that this life is temporary. and one should be satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord. This is called Sattva Guna. This satisfaction is very much important in our life. Such a person becomes dear to Krishna. And when one is dear to Krishna, one becomes happy. If one is not dear to Krishna, one cannot become happy, how much ever power he can have in the material world. So thus one should try to remain satisfied in every circumstances. So yes, limited efforts we should put, but one should always be fearful. I may not take discounts from following the instructions of the spiritual master. Follow it very, very rigidly, very, very strictly, all the rules and regulations. And this attitude will help us to come to Sattva Guna. But then one should not remain on Sattva Guna, one should come to Shuddha Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna means good qualities. So-called good qualities also are bad here. So why God is called Nirguna? Because actually he has got no good qualities. God could have been told Sadguna. God is a person who is having all good qualities, no bad qualities. Why God is told Nirguna, no qualities? Because actually so-called good qualities here also are bad. They are also not present in Krishna. What is good quality here? Good means you always speak truth. But Krishna, he is telling so much lies, so many lies. Don't break your promise. People would agree to die, but not break their vow. But Krishna broke his vow for satisfaction of his devotees. Let my vow go to hell. But I want to satisfy Bhishma and I want to protect Arjuna. This is my vow. So to satisfy his devotees, Krishna gave up his vow. And he rushed towards Bhishma, picking up his chariot wheel in his hand. So just see, Krishna is so kind. He is willing to get the reputation of a bad person just to safeguard the interest of his devotees. So Krishna broke his vows. One should not steal. Stealing is bad. Krishna was stealing left and right. Running away from battlefield is very, very bad. Shameful activity. And the soldier can be punished, can be even executed if he runs in wartime. Very bad activity. But Krishna is glorified for running away from battlefield. And Krishna just not retreated, he ran away, literally ran away. And Kalyavan was running behind. Krishna is running, he is chasing. So Krishna gave him a tough run. So Krishna ran away from the battlefield. But Krishna is glorified. So in this manner, Krishna had so many so-called, Krishna killed. Krishna was the cause of so much of killing. So killing is very bad. Saving somebody's life is very good. Non-violence is very good. But Krishna created so much of violence. So many people were killed personally by Krishna. Lord Balram, he did not like to participate in the war. So he went for pilgrimage. In all pilgrimage, he came across a great gathering in Naimisharanya. The sages were sitting discussing Bhagavatam, all the scriptures, Puranas, holy texts. And Romharshan was given the responsibility to explain all these scriptures. So when Lord Balram came, all the sages stood up. But Romharshan was sitting on Vyasasan. He did not stand up. So it is etiquette, when a person is sitting on Vyasasan, he should not stand up to give respect to anybody. But it does not apply when Lord is coming. Then he should stand up. So he did not stand. So Lord Balram became angry. And he killed him by throwing a blade of grass. So how somebody can be killed by throwing grass? So this is the omnipotency of Lord. He can kill somebody simply by throwing grass. So one may see, oh, Lord is full of egotism. You don't give respect to God, he will kill you. Not just chastisement, not just anger. He is killing you for not showing respect. You don't get up when Lord is coming and he will kill. What is this? Oh, but that is great favor shown by Lord. So the person got liberated. Who was otherwise not knowing the position of Lord, he got liberated. All the demons who were killed, they got liberated. Everybody on the battlefield, they got liberated. So thus all these activities are great favors done by Krishna, which apparently are causing harm to the devotees. Thus Krishna tells, Yasyaham anugranami harishyat tadhanam shanay. When I become specially merciful upon somebody, slowly I take away all his wealth. I take away all his material assets away. So even though in destiny, person is not supposed to be poor, if a devotee wants to advance in spiritual life as well as in material life, if Krishna is favorable, he shows special favor, then even though in destiny he is supposed to be rich, Krishna will make him poor. In destiny he is supposed to have a fit body, Krishna will get him diseased. So Krishna can give him special troubles, even though he is not destined to suffer. Just so that a person can become completely dependent upon Krishna. And then, even though the devotee is not destined to become rich, that Krishna can make him rich also. Out of his destiny, he'll become rich. Out of his destiny, he'll become materially very, very opulent, very, very successful. So the results which a devotee gets in his life, they are the personal intervention. That is why it is told, akamo sarvakamo va moksha kamo dharadi. Ideally, we should not have any desire, but still, if you have any desire, worship Krishna. Because Devtas cannot change your destiny. You will get only what is destined to you. But if you worship Krishna, Krishna can give you what is not destined also. So that is why if you actually want something, any impossible thing also if you want, you worship Krishna. Krishna can fulfill. But then if Krishna fulfills your material desire, then Krishna has cheated you. You wanted real money, somebody gave you fake currency. This is called cheating. So thus, if Krishna has fulfilled our material desire, then Krishna has cheated us. But Prabhupada tells, if you want to be cheated, then Krishna will cheat you. If you want material desires and you are worshipping Krishna, then that is not right. Then Krishna will also cheat you. He will give material desire. But if Krishna gives special favors, he will not fulfill. Then he will slowly take away all the opulences away. So that we become dependent. So this is not good. Somebody is worshipping you and you steal away his money from him. This is bad quality. But no. So that is why Krishna does not have any so-called good or bad quality. Krishna is transcendental. His favor is good. His so-called disfavor is also good. His protecting is also good. His killing is also good. Anger is bad quality, but anger of Krishna is also good. Hiranyakashipu got liberated because of this. Thus Krishna is called Nirguna. He has got no so-called good or bad qualities. He has no qualities of this material world. Because any so-called good activity, good quality is also bad in this world. If you do philanthropy, which is a good activity, you get entangled because of that activity. Now you have to take another birth. You distributed so much of wealth. You have to take one more birth as a wealthy person. Now you will get diseased in a wealthy house, in a wealthy family. You will get old with lot of money. Your bones will pain and you will have lot of money. And you will get curses from a wealthy wife. She will have very wonderful intellectual abuses at you. You have to look for dictionary what she has told. But cursing nevertheless will happen. So you want to get beaten by a good wife, rich wife, then you do philanthropy here. Next life you will take birth as a good rich person. And beautiful wife will curse you. She will beat you very nicely. But beating has to happen. That nobody can protect in material world. Dampatya kalaha vacha. Kalaha means the conflict in a marital affair that is natural in this material world. Chanakya Pandit says one should not take it very seriously. It is going to happen. This kalaha is going to happen. That is the nature of this material world. So that is why so-called good activity is also bad here. You have to take one more birth to get the so-called good results of your activities. So that is why one should rise above. That is why Krishna tells, Ube sukrita dushkrite. Give up the good activities also. One should die before seeing one father is being killed. But Prahlāda Mahārāja, he is garlanding the killer of his father, Narsinghdev. He did not protect his father. This is bad quality, but this is called transcendental. Because Krishna wanted to kill, Prahlāda Mahārāja did not protest. Similarly, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he followed the good quality of not telling a lie, but this good quality was bad. He was given punishment to see hell because he did not follow Krishna and tell a lie. So thus one should transcend this platform also. Just like the brahmachari in the movement. So they have shown very bad quality, irresponsible behavior by not taking care of the parents. If a person does not take care of the parents, one should materially also keep the parents very satisfied. One should marry and increase the family, produce nice children so that the parents can be satisfied. Supply wealth, material comforts to them so that they can be materially happy. So if a son does not take care like this, son will see hell. One will be forced to eat his own flesh in hell, it is told. Not taking of parents is such a great sinful activity. So one should give great respect. One should always be obedient. Like a servant, one should be there in front of parents. But the devotees, they give up such service. So they are supposed to be sent to hell. It is very, very bad quality, but they give it up for the service of Krishna. So thus there is no loss to anyone. Such a person also gets maximum benefit, eternal benefit, and such parents also, they get permanent benefit. They also go back to Godhead. Entire family, many, many generations, they get liberated. So thus, that is why Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Give up good qualities, give up bad qualities also, and become transcendental. So one should be willing to do any good work or any bad work. The only consideration should be satisfaction of Krishna. That is called transcendental position. And then a person can please Krishna. And when Krishna is pleased, then one can see Krishna, one can understand Krishna, one can always remain in bliss in any situation. So then we will see how Narsingh Dev is expressing his love for Prahlāda Mahārāja, and he also speaks some wonderful instructions in the next classes. With this we will end. Any questions? Yeah. 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 No, they came and they purified. Yeah, so the question is, when Krishna brought back, so Devki had got this request that Krishna, I have heard that you got the sons of your spiritual master Sandipni Muni, even though they were dead for a long time. So Krishna can do this. After death, nobody has returned. But Krishna or Krishna's devotees can make that happen. So Krishna brought back the dead sons of Sandipni Muni, and Devki heard that. So she requested, so bring back my sons also. They died very soon. So Krishna told, no problem. So Krishna got to know where they were. So after death, they were residing with Bali Maharaj in the Sutala planet. So Bali Maharaj is pure devotee of Krishna. He became very pleased when he saw Krishna Balram. They have come. And I think both of them, they went, Krishna and Balram. So then he offered respects. And then Krishna told, so my mother has got this request. I know they are living with you. So please send them to me. And then Krishna got them. And they got transformed into their baby-like small forms in which Devki wanted to see them and enjoy with them. And then Lord Krishna told, so once they come and suck milk from the breasts of my mother, they'll get purified. And then they will go back to their heavenly abode, original situation, original place. So thus, because Krishna had sucked the milk from the breasts of Devaki, Krishna also did this pastime. And thus when the brothers also, they came, and as soon as they contacted the body of Devaki, they became completely purified and they got elevated to position of demigods. So thus later they were established. Yes, this is also very important. So Narad Muni also appears to be having bad qualities, and thus people misrepresent him, that he is passing away information here and there. And just he only gave information to Kansa, that Kansa, any child could be 8, so you kill all of them. So what is this? Kansa is having some sympathy, some empathy, and Narad Muni is telling, no, kill all of them. So he's killing a good quality, but no, this is good, so that they can quickly get established to their own original positions, and Krishna can appear soon on this planet. So it's good for both the parties. Krishna comes here, and all of them, all the people who are suffering here, they'll get relief. And the 6 people who are actually demigods, they are suffering here in the Asuri Yoni, they will also get liberated. So thus we think death means very bad thing. But who knows? That is why there is a basic misconception. Why we are so much worried about death. Arjuna was also worried about death. So Krishna told, they are very pious people. Why you are afraid of killing Bhishma and Drona? Because they are pious, if they die now, they will have very good bodies in the next life. So that is why Prabhupada tells the son of Brahmana, when the sage met him, he gave boon, you die immediately. So what is this boon? If I meet a sage, Maharaj, please give me blessings. And the sage blesses, okay, you die immediately. That will be a shock for us. But people who are wise, they know this is actually a boon. The son of Brahmana has done so much austerity. There is no need of taking more discomfort here. You die, you will go to Vaikuntha Loka by the virtue of your austerities. So there is no need to live. You have done sufficient austerity. So the people who are fools, who are haunted by the ghost of Maya, they want to think of material benefit. We should not care about material benefit at all. One should only think about Krishna's benefit. And in that, if there is some material loss, one should take it up. If there is material prosperity, that also should be taken, no problem. Only Krishna's profit should be considered. Any other question?
You told that lust is a symptom of mono ignorance.
Yes.
When Krishna says in the verse, Kam, Esha, Krodha, Esha, Rajya,
Yes.
then he says that lust is born because of motor passion.
Yes. So passion is also included, but here Prabhupada specifically mentioned that, yes, in the lecture. Pardon?
Yes.
Same modes, envy and mix of tamas and rajas.
Other things we can say greed and lust and appliances, but envy is not.
Yes. Because lust transforms into envy. Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajaguna, Samudbhava. So when I am not able to satisfy lust, other person is able to satisfy, I become envious.
But especially in this age of today, this era, when the devotees, although they may want to seek in separate place and chant Hare Krishna, but they have to go outside and they have to much materialist for the benefit of the people. So, but if can this happen if a devotee is always fearful and when he goes outside and meet materialists, still at that time also he is fearful, then how can he manage?
So the question is that we should be fearful of the material nature, especially fearful of non-devotee association. So one can sit in a secluded place and chant Hare Krishna, but then we cannot do that always. We have to go out and mix with people. So how to deal with this situation? If we are fearful, then shall we be saved even while meeting materialist is the question. So actually this is a misconception. We think if I sit in a secluded place and chant, I'll be free from Maya. No, that is Maya. Sitting in secluded place and chanting Hare Krishna. So this is Maya because this is sense gratification. So one should understand by our own efforts. One cannot save, just like Saubhari Muni. He went into great seclusion. He went inside water to do his meditation. And there also he got attracted by the copulating fishes. So thus one can only be safe in this material world by the gaze of Krishna. Krishna tells, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Whatever you do, you go to Himalayas, you go to river, you go to ocean. Anywhere you go, everywhere there is Maya. Maya is unconquerable. Duratyaya cannot be conquered. But Mam evye prapadyante. Only those who have taken shelter of me. Maya metam tarantite. They can cross over Maya. So only by the grace of Krishna or spiritual master, one can be safe from Maya. So that is why if we have to protect ourselves from Maya, we should try to mix, we should try to meet as much as possible with the materialists for preaching. So thus when Prabhupada was instructing to disciples on maintaining brahmacharya, Prabhupada told, so you preach and pray to Krishna. Krishna can take this itching sensation. So this lust is itching sensation. So Krishna can take this itching sensation away. So you have to preach and pray to Krishna. So thus we should rather be very much interested to meet the materialists, not for enjoying with them, not to hear their katha, but to explain Krishna katha, to preach, to spread Krishna consciousness. So yes, morning and evening we should be with devotees discussing the pastimes of Krishna, engaging in chanting and hearing deity worship, and daytime we should always be preaching. So then one will not be contaminated at all, Prabhupada tells. So the disciples asked, when we go out for preaching, will be contaminated? Prabhupada tells, no, preaching is spiritual activity. So when we are out for preaching, then we are under control of spiritual energy of Krishna. So when we are surcharged with spiritual energy, material energy cannot impact us. So that is why we should always be in preaching mood. Morning to evening, always we should be seeking. Can I give book to this person? Can I give book to that person? Can I invite him to stay with us? Always preaching, preaching, preaching. Always we should be out in that mood. So when we are out in this preaching, that is why it is told, Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Any person you find, you preach about Krishna. So this is the way of remaining safe from Maya. So if one is really fearful of Maya, one should preach very, very nicely. Online?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What is the role of Krishna in my material life, in handling my material desire?
So the question is, what is the role of Krishna in my life in handling material desires? So Krishna does not interfere in our material desires. As long as we have material desires, Krishna is there as super soul, and he sanctions everything, whatever you may desire. He is very kind Father. Because Krishna wants us to get convinced, whatever we may desire in this material world, Krishna will fulfill it so that we get convinced that we are not going to be satisfied by fulfillment of those desires. So those who are wise, they can see from others' example. Those people who are so-called very successful, they have attained, are they happy and satisfied? No. Then why should I crave for it? But those who are not wise, okay, desire Krishna will send to all planets, to all species, to all so-called success. Krishna will inspire from the heart how to attain that. But he does not directly deal with us. Only when we engage in devotional service, especially the process begins from chanting and hearing about Krishna, Nashyami Atma Bhavasto Jnana Deepena Bhasvata, then Krishna becomes very active from the heart and he destroys all the material desires. So when we take to Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, especially hearing about Krishna, then Krishna starts destroying material desires from the heart. Otherwise, he does not take any interest in us. He has made some laws of nature. He is there as super soul. He will keep on sanctioning whatever we desire.
But later realized that the fruit vendor made a mistake in overall calculation and took less money from me. Should I pay him back the extra?
So the question is, somebody has taken fruits from the fruit vendor, and those fruits were supposed to be given to temple, for the temple. So the realization is that because he has taken less money, now should I pay back the vendor because the vendor is at loss? So indirectly this has become devotional service to vendor, because he has charged less money. So Krishna will give him benefit of doing charity even though he has done in an unknowing manner, but he has got agyas sukriti. But then if you are wearing the tilak and the dress of devotee, then he will curse you. That devotee is like this, and he will commit Vaishnava aparadh. So he'll get degraded in his life. So thus we should see what is helping him advance in Krishna consciousness. So if you think that he will not identify you as a devotee, then it is okay. Then that is devotional service. But if you have been identified as devotee and devotee will get bad name, then please go and pay. We'll finish here. Granth Raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.